Thanks for tuning in to another video, guys. I am back, and thank you. We've reached our goal of 1,000 subscribers. So when I started this channel, like I told you guys before in some previous videos, man, I never would have thought that it would have gotten this far so far. Very thankful. Thank you guys for viewing the channel. Many more videos to come. We're gonna keep striving to get better. So but as far as today's video, we'll straight cut to it. Don't mind my mess over there on my welding table. I've got to get some stuff cleaned up here before I actually get started. But today's adventure is to get the front spindle, hub, bearings, brakes and stuff put on the car from Strange. And so this is what we're working with. I got this painted with some like rubberized undercoating stuff that you can buy. It laid on there pretty nice. I like the way it turned out. I'm very happy with that. Then I got the front suspension put on. You guys can see it's got the Midwest chassis adjustable coilover conversion mount up top, a racecraft tubular upper, stock spindles that have been cut for the Strange, and they're powder coated. And then you got racecraft lowers and double adjustable Crusader Viking coilovers. So you guys might be able to see there, peeked around the back. I got the coils mounted last night. I think those turned out pretty good. You guys might be able to see them a little bit here. There's like a front view. They're tucked away down there nice and low. Pretty convenient for the spark plug wires and such. And I got the new alternator put on. So that's a smaller stock F body alternator on the Motion Raceworks bracket. So for you guys that are hitting me up about that and asking me about that, that's what that is. And so it actually looks like it's going to work out perfect. So you guys can see I don't have the balancer on yet, but that's okay. I wanted to make sure that I had the fuel pump cam spud drive gear on and like the cam sensor, all that stuff set in there right. And then that's pretty much that. So I wanted to kind of go after that. But I'm trying to get the front suspension put back down on the car, or at least get it done on the car, so that way the car can at least be put down on all fours and roll and move if needed, without much craziness going on. So that's going to be my agenda for today's video. So you guys can try to follow along there, and we'll get the front suspension pretty much buttoned up on this thing. And I won't necessarily adjust the end links here on the rack. I'll probably just get them to where, because everything's just completely loose right now. I'll get it up in there to where at least I can get in the car, turn the steering wheel, and it will turn the, turn the wheels. So that way if I'm trying to get on a trailer or what have you, it's at least movable. So once it's down, I'm gonna get it down on all fours, and then we're gonna probably try to start focusing on finishing up the last little bit of fabbing stuff that needs to be completed inside the bay. That way I can get the engine pulled out for the very last time, get all the sensors and stuff, get everything buttoned up on it, get inside the bay, do all my final welding, because everything in there is kind of just tacked, like the motor plate mounts and stuff like that, the travel limiter for motion, get all that stuff fully welded up, get all these holes and stuff that I don't want still, like for instance, here's an example. There's a little small hole right here from where there was a screw before. Like I'm gonna fill that in with the welder, and go through a few of these that I know that I won't ever use again. And then I will get some paint put on it, and then we will get the engine put back in for the final time, and start fabbing up the last little bit of stuff, which really is the hot and cold side. And I mean, guys, that's it. Throw the wiring harness on this thing, put some fuel in it, build the fuel lines, and send it. So we're getting close, guys. We're getting close. So, but for today's video, today's going to be all about the Strange brakes. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys step one of where I've made it here so far. The hub needs to be slid into the bore of the spindle. Make sure that inside there is all clean of rust. Stick it in, put your bracket on. It says inboard side on the inboard side of this, and also these pressed in nuts here for the brake caliper needs to be facing outboard towards your rotor. Once you slide those on, go ahead and get your bolts put in, washers under the nuts, and then washer on the back side underneath the nut, and then all 4 of these here get torqued to 45 foot-pounds. And then once that's on, you'll move to the like the hub here, and you'll insert your 1/2-inch studs, the lug studs. And then I just brought them down close enough. I'm gonna put a little dab of blue Loctite on every one of these, and each one of these gets bolted to a torque spec of 65 foot-pounds as per Strange's instructions. So at that point, I'll get those torqued down. This will be ready to install. I'll go ahead and then pack the bearings with wheel bearing grease. I'm just using like your standard, you know, parts store, like high temp, just high pressure wheel bearing grease. Just, you know, don't use any grease. Use some good grease that's made for high temp, that's made specifically for wheel bearings, and you'll be okay. So that's pretty much that step, guys. We're moving forward here, and I wanted to show you along. Hub is on, bearings are in place, the lock washer with the spindle nut is all on. Lug nuts, or lug studs, are already all torqued 65 foot-pounds, and so you can see spins nice and smooth. It's got that brand new nice grease in there. So what happens is here now is I'm going to take the wheel and actually bolt the wheel on, and then once the wheel's bolted on, what I'm going to do is just I'm going to spin the wheel. As I spin the wheel, this gets torqued to 20 foot-pounds, and then once this is torqued to 20 foot-pounds, you'll break this loose just a little bit until the wheel starts spinning real nice and free. And then as soon as the wheel spins nice and free, then you'll take and you'll put the spindle nut retainer and the cotter pin, and then install that. And once that's installed, you go grab the aluminum spindle or the hub cap, and then you'll put that on, and you're pretty much done. Then you can remove the wheel back off. Once the wheel is removed back off, then you can go ahead and start by putting your brake caliper on, shim it appropriately, and then we'll get to that step. So anyway, that's what I'm about to do right now, guys. Alrighty, guys, there it is. It's all complete. So like I said, you get the spindle nut on, torque it down with the wheel on, take the wheel back off, put your cap on, your retainer clip and your cotter pin, you put your cap on, put your rotor on, and then once you put your rotor on, you come back here with your 2 bolts going into the bracket, put the washers on them, and then in between the caliper and the brake caliper bracket, this aluminum silver thing I'm pointing at, you're gonna put your shims, which are these guys right here. So Strange gives you a bunch of them for different type of applications, and what you're looking for is, when it's kind of hard to see on camera, but basically when this rotor is pressed all the way up against the hub, your thickness that you see, that daylight in between each side of that rotor, should be as centered as possible. So then that way, as the hydraulic fluid in the brake system pushes all the pistons closed, actuating the brakes, you want it to evenly press as closely as you can to where your wear is going to be even on your pads. And so by doing that, that's the proper shim thickness, ultimately moving the caliper outboard or inboard based on those shims. So one key note, and they talk about it in instructions too, is like on the outboard side of that bracket, this space that right here that's on my finger, you're looking down there to ensure that the bolt holes, where the bolts for the brake caliper come out, you know, you don't run into an issue where they're sticking out and grinding on the back side of the rotor. You actually can see, if you look through the rotor right there, you can see the bolt looking at us. And basically, you know, in this application, those bolts are short enough, but anyway, you might be in a situation where those bolts might be a little too long, and if you're not paying attention, you go to spin the rotor, put the wheel on, spin the wheel, and then you see that you know, that bolt is grinding on the back side of the rotor. So just pay attention to that, apply shims as necessary, and then that's it. So that's pretty much going to be this side, guys. I'm going to take the wheel, I'm going to put it on, I'm going to put a couple of my lug nuts that I've got here just to get it on there so it's tight. I can move around the garage if I need to, and then that will be all done for the driver's side. I'm missing one cotter pin up here on the upper ball joint, which I'm gonna get a set of stainless steel ones to put on the car. And that's pretty much it, guys. It's getting hot out here. I've still got the passenger side to do, but pretty much that's how I was gonna end the video. Just kind of show you guys to get the brakes put on the car, packing the wheel bearings, such like that. It's pretty straightforward, nothing crazy. But listen, thanks again for the 1,000 subscribers. The channel is moving forward. I greatly appreciate it. It's helping me continuously drive to make the videos, and you know, I'm grateful, so thank you. Definitely gonna have to set the bar higher now in the future and try to get my content up, videos out for you guys, get this thing finally on the track, you know, start making some boost. And man, I'm ready to let go of the trans brake, I can promise you that. And I want all you guys to see that as well, and maybe even meet some of you guys at the track, race you, you know, whatever. I'm excited. So that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning into the video today. Hopefully it's short and sweet, to the point for you. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe for me. Like the video if you liked it. Comment down below. I try to read all of the comments. And you know, hope you guys are all staying safe and enjoy your day. See you next time.